Hi, Richie.
Hi, Sin.
What are we doing today?
Today we're looking at more notes.
Wow. Can you read it?
Sin, don't you have an outline you follow?
Yeah, don't you?
Do I? Am I Rich or am I Sin now?
I'm having an existential crisis. It's the one that says Madmen toil surreptitiously in rituals to beckon the moon uncover their secrets. On the wiki, it is,
No, I see it. No, because
it's fifth row down in the middle.
you weren't doing it right. You weren't being me correctly, Richie, so you messed this whole thing up.
I think it's better if you're you and I'm me. I've been researching the role for a while.
So, where is this note located?
It is in the prison cell, the cell area of Yahogul. It's outside the cell that we get taken to, that they don't lock.
Awesome. And what kind of note is it?
It is held up by messengers.
Oh, snap! The messengers are back.
Yeah.
Guess who's back? Back again. Messengers are back. Telehunter.
That's why we're here.
Okay, and can you read this note?
When did this become a thing?
The outline made it a thing.
But didn't you write the outline? I think you're refusing to accept responsibility by saying it's the outline.
The outline came as a note from the messengers, so I have to follow it. What voice have we not done yet? Okay.
Okay.
Richie?
Yeah.
What about your best Oedo voice?
Fucking madmen toil surreptitiously in goddamn fucking rituals to beckon the fucking moon. Uncover their fucking secrets, dickweed.
That was the most beautiful thing I've heard in my life. This podcast just keeps getting better and better. Thank you, Richie.
Yeah, it's like the podcast is like Bloodborne. The longer it goes on, the more my mind degrades. And the more I'm in touch with the cosmos.
Okay. Madmen toil surreptitiously in rituals to beckon the moon. What does that mean?
Well, you know how roughly half the notes in this series have been a reference to the fact that Mensis, who we might call madmen, are performing a ritual in Yahogul that beckons the red moon. I believe it is referring to them.
Okay. And uncover their secrets. What does that mean?
That's a kind of a good question. Because at the point you get kidnapped, you can't really uncover anything. So I think it's more saying that, like, Yahogul is going to be an important place, and it's going to be a significant place. So remember that this is happening, because, like, you'll need to uncover the secrets of Yahogul at some point. But at this point, assuming we're kidnapped, like, after the blood-starved beast, about 3/4 of Yahogul we can't get to. But I think it's like an early game thing to say, like, hey, this place is important. And you find it near a dead hunter.
Near a tomato?
Well...
Near a tomato, near a tomato,
yeah.
near a tomato, near a tomato, near a tomato. The other day, this went on for about 10 minutes. My boyfriend almost killed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm beginning to know how he feels. So, you find this near a dead hunter, possibly a spark hunter. We don't know.
Oh.
We just don't know. And I'm guessing that, like, that hunter was investigating Yahogul and left this note that there's, like, something sketchy's going on here.
Oh my god, Richie!
Yep.
Do you think he saw our podcast on the sketchy arenas?
Do you think that's what killed him?
No! Say what you will, sir. That's still one of our more popular podcasts on the channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you want to know more about sketchy boss arenas and what could have possibly killed this hunter, check out the link in the description.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I guess, like, looking at the early development map, the way that you got to Yahagul, like, after Rom was different.
How so?
Because it looks like, instead of the weird, like, you just teleport, plop, and you're outside Yahagul, it looks like what would have happened is you went up to Upper Cathedral Ward. Then you went through Lumen Flower Gardens, down from Lumen Flower Gardens. Like, Lance McDonald's shown this off. There's, like, an elevator. And, like, I've looked at the development map, and basically that elevator connected to a path, and that path went to Yahagul. So you would have, instead of just dropping there, you would have gone to Upper Cathedral Ward, done the orphanage, possibly fought Celestial Emissary or whatever. Whatever went on in Lumen Flower Gardens would happen. Then, instead of Lumen Flower Gardens going to Ebrietas in a dead end, it would have gone to Yahagul.
Do you have any other cool cat content to tell us about?
Not currently, but, like, Laura is going through... She has all the Bloodborne object files, and she's going through the object files and, like, one by one in a 3D model viewer. And then, like, she streamed that for a couple of hours, and I was just writing down what everything was.
Oh,
So
I see.
and, like, there's like over 1,000 objects. So it's going to take a while, because we did like 140 in a couple of hours. So,
okay.
And by objects, I mean everything from, like a skull on the ground to, like, Upper Cathedral Ward itself is considered an object. It's just like a big 3D model. So, when that's done, we will have, like, a proper database of, like, what everything is. And then we can use that to figure out, okay, this is what's worth, like, loading up properly and looking at in detail. And yeah, we did find, we found a couple of interesting things. There's an unused chalice that, like, I've known about for a while, and I don't think we've ever mentioned on this. Which is,
Really?
Yeah, it's a chalice, like, you would offer, like, this, the problem with these objects is that if something was tied to a specific map, then the texture file is in the map. So if you load it up externally, it doesn't have a texture, it's just like a white outline that you can rotate. But, so yeah, this doesn't have a texture because it's tied to the Hunter's Dream. But, like, it was a chalice, but what's in the chalice is the severed head of the cleric beast. So it's like you've offered the head of the cleric beast as a ritual material to make something happen. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there's like other just chalices that aren't used that just, like, look slightly different. There's one that we called the shot glass because it's just like this is like a little cylinder. What else did we find? There was something that, like, I can't tell because it didn't have a texture, but, like, you know when there was that big drop of, like, all the cut stuff that Santa found, like, at the end of 2017. It looked kind of like one of the medieval knights you found in that, but the bottom of it had all these messengers kind of crawling around. So I don't know what that was. If it was going to be like an ancient hunter that was like a medieval knight but still had messengers. Yeah. Most importantly, there's about 50 different kinds of ladder.
Really? Tell me more.
Ladder, 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 ladder.
Richie?
Yes.
Who built those ladders?
Laddersmith Gilligan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shared universe confirmed?
Who else could construct ladders?
No one.
Exactly. It's like the pole in Deracine.
The pole?
You know, Marie's job is to open and close the windows with a pole with a hook on the end. And there's a part where it goes missing and everyone acts like, we can never open or shut windows anymore. This is this like ancient technology that we've lost the art of replicating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, with luck, I think that is the last note that is some variation on Mensis. They're doing a thing with the moon. What's going on? It's like the alpha version of the game doesn't have those notes in it.
You cut out what?
The alpha version doesn't have those notes in it that we know of.
What? Why not?
Well, I think what happened was because they had to redo everything at the last minute. They're like, oh yeah, this whole Mensis thing is not really very well explained, is it? Let's just have it written down. Just like, FYI, this is the plot.
It's like a footnote.
Yeah.
And does the Japanese version say anything different?
I think it says the same thing. Oh, also, like, if you find that at the beginning of the game, you won't understand what the fuck, like, beckoning the moon means, because it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll come to it, like, there's another note that's the same thing, but it's like, okay, what does that mean to beckon the moon? Like, the moon looks pretty normal to me. And then when the red moon shows up over Moonside Lake, it's like, oh. The problem is that by the time the red moon shows up at Moonside Lake, it's probably like 3 days later and you've forgotten this note. I feel like the plot of Bloodborne would work a lot better if like the game were extremely easy, because there's all these things that like call back to stuff that happened earlier, but because you'll probably get stuck on every boss for like 3 hours, it kind of goes out of your head and you don't really appreciate it until you go through it again a second time, already knowing where everything is. Then it sort of lines up. Yeah.
So let me ask you, who left this note and for what purpose and for who?
Well, presumably it was the dead hunter that's next to it.
So he called up the messengers and he's like, hey, did you send a text for me?
Well, I mean, possibly another hunter left it and that hunter read it and then died.
Richard, that doesn't make sense.
Why?
One hunter left it, the other hunter read it and died.
We're reading it.
We're still alive? Is this like a cursed note? Is this like a note where, like, if you don't make someone else read it within 7 days, you die?
Yeah, this has to get at least 7 upvotes.
Oh no!
Or your crush will not like you. Can this be the end?
No. Yeah.
Okay.